Hello, Facebook, and good morning on this snowy, almost snowy Tuesday. I am here today with Peter Davies, the BOD Director of the RAPV, and we're going to discuss residential real estate and marijuana. According to the Finley Maxon NAR Senior Council, over the past 20 years, 30 states have passed laws allowing for the legal use of medical marijuana. 8 of these states, most recently Massachusetts, allow for recreational sales and use. Here to discuss that with us, as I said, Peter Davies. Peter Davies, would you introduce yourself, your company, and a little bit how you got into becoming a part of the National Association of Realtors?
Thank you, Fallon, for having me this morning.
Yes.
I've been in real estate for a little more than 30 years, and I'm presently a real estate broker in Northampton. I work for Borowski Real Estate, longtime family business here since 1930.
Yes.
So I've been around for a while. And I've been involved with all of the associations, the National Association, the Mass Association, and the local board for all of those over 30 years, and recently have been more involved with our local board as far as being on the board of directors.
Yes.
I am the chairman of the government affairs. We're in charge of our lobbying and taking care of protecting property rights, and the Mass Association, I'm also active in some of the boards there as well. So
excellent.
Anyway,
nice resume.
Thank you.
I have some questions for you today, if you don't mind answering for us. If the viewers have any questions, please comment as we broadcast. Number one, how will the legalization of recreational marijuana affect resident real estate values in Massachusetts?
Well, the National Association of Realtors has, and we commissioned a study sampling across the country of all the states and all the practitioners and those who answered. It came up that about 75% of the respondents said that there's no change. So that's okay. 10% said that values had increased. 14% they said they decreased. On the residential side. On the commercial side, about 2/3 of the people responded that there was no change. Over 20% said that there was a positive change in values.
Nice.
And about 10% said that there was a decrease in values. So since primarily what we're dealing with is the commercial areas, I would think that those would be the numbers that would be the most pertinent.
Nice. And are realtors' business practices going to be affected by the recreational marijuana legislation in Massachusetts?
I don't really think so. I think that if you're listing a house that possibly has a grow room, something like that as disclosures, that might be something that would be important. But you don't have to. Out here, I don't think we have as many grow houses as they do in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
Because of our weather.
Yes.
And it's been my experience that the commercial sector is a lot more involved in that and so if you're a commercial practitioner or you're in a commercial area, you would have to deal with that a lot more than you would as a residential.
Yeah, so I was telling you before we went live that I do have people walk in and ask me quite a few questions about the commercial properties. So what is the most commonly asked question that the RAPV fields about recreational marijuana sales?
I'm really not aware of any questions that we've had. I mean, I think that people probably would deal more with their local governments regarding that.
Yes.
But the zoning and how people have done it is all different in every city. So that's where they would start. But we'd be happy to help with anything.
Yes.
Anyway.
And as a novice living in the area, I know that East Hampton became kind first in our area. Does that seem about right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually also a city official in East Hampton. So and the buildings where they are, I represent those buildings for lease. And that zone was put up, excuse me, because of the mill district that actually was as a little, not urban renewal, so to speak, but financially it was going to help the mills come up, and that was the original zone. It since has changed of where they would allow it, but that was the idea in the beginning, and our city council worked very hard to try to be thoughtful and respectful when they came up with all of those regulations.
And I feel from what I've heard, I feel like they have.
Yep.
And the point of entry for it was looked at very carefully, and the people that came in have done it in a very quality manner.
Yep, very thoughtful.
Yes.
Very thoughtful indeed.
Does the National Association of Realtors have a stance on how realtors should behave on a state level when dealing with clients receiving income from marijuana dispensaries?
The associations really don't, but yet I would think that most of the agents and brokers would rely on their lenders.
Yes.
The lenders are going to be the ones that are going to have an issue with that.
Yes.
I don't think that the question of whether somebody gets paid in cash or gets paid by check is a problem as long as it's declared.
Yes.
But I mean, that will be something for lenders.
Yes. And I do know that, ask your lenders. I have lists of lenders that do approve and others that don't, because there's the difference between federal and state law, and that so a lot of times mortgages are backed federally.
Well, not only that, there's, we have some issues in some of the commercial stuff that we're doing where we're going to be owning it is getting title insurance.
Oh, yes.
Title insurance, and some companies will not insure a title because it's, federally it's an issue.
Yes.
But we do have some around here that we're working with that are, been in business for a long time, and they're more than willing to charge.
Yes. Do realtors have any legal expectations when asked to sell grow houses in Massachusetts?
Only 5% of the realtors have really nationally have had anything to do with selling a grow house. In Massachusetts, as I said, it's not all that prevalent, but I've sold a couple of houses that have had what I call grow closets.
Yes.
Where someone has, put aluminum foil and lights and has a little drip system in it. And so what I found is what I do is I won't put it publicly that that's happening because there are privacy issues, but yet I would disclose it to the agents who are coming.
Yes. Specifically
to tell them that there's something on site, and to tell the buyers that they have a personal problem with it, that, it's here. Or more importantly, if they have young children.
Yes.
When you show a house, young kids go around, they're opening up closets, they're going, Mommy, Daddy, look at this. Oh my God. So
the medicine room.
Right. Yeah. So we don't need to have that happening. Yes. So that's kind of the way I handle it. But, perhaps more and more this will be happening. But
yes.
I don't see it much now.
Do have residential leases changed due to the legalization of recreational marijuana in Mass?
Well, a lot of the leases anyway prohibit smoking.
Yes.
So a lot of people, and that's been a health issue that's been going on for the past few years.
Yes.
So the smoking is in there, and it doesn't matter what you're smoking, you just can't do it. But yet other landlords, and also they have that you can't do it in the common areas.
Yes.
Albeit that smoking cannabis outside in the public isn't allowed anyway. So if you're on your porch, you're basically kind of in public anyway.
Yeah.
But the other thing is there are other clauses in the leases. We call them a nuisance clause. That would be something that if the smell of marijuana becomes too strong, that becomes a nuisance, as well as if your dog doesn't behave, that could be a nuisance.
Yes.
And a lot of landlords are really concerned because it is legal to grow. Each person can have 6 plants.
Yes.
So if people are growing that and they're growing it indoors, they're using a lot of electricity. That would upset a landlord, especially if they're paying for the utilities.
Yes.
And it's also something that could be with older wiring, or could be a safety issue.
Yes.
So, and fire. I mean, I'm sure that the fire department's not happy about people with grow lights and all this stuff. And, so those are the issues. And I mean, I think every landlord is an individual, but I would definitely, if I were going to do that, I would let everybody know and ask permission, and therefore it's there, because it also becomes an insurance issue. If the insurance companies come in, again, we're talking about national and state. So if there's federal laws, you're breaking the federal laws because of this. So it becomes quite
a gray area.
Yeah.
A gray area.
Yep.
What is the biggest drawback of residential marijuana sales in Massachusetts real estate, in your opinion?
I'm really not seeing much of a drawback. I'm not hearing some of the public meetings I've been at for people that are going for licenses. People seem to be concerned with people hanging out. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
People going out and smoking pot in the parking lot. That doesn't happen.
Yes.
People get bags. They are sealed. They are to go off premises. That is the situation.
And there's usually a police presence there.
There's more security. Some of the things that I'm involved with, probably $150,000 to $180,000 worth of infrared cameras.
Wow.
Totally surrounding the property and inside.
Wow.
So there's probably as much, if not more, sometimes security than you would find in a bank.
Yes. Wow.
And because of the same thing, that you have vaults, and it's so it's relatively safe. And these people want to be a part of the community, and that's one of the things that they're trying to be good community citizens.
Yes.
So.
Yes. One of my friends works at the dispensary, and that's what she's very much into. You know, she has standards about where she will shop and where she will not shop and where
Sure.
she will buy from. And she really feels comfortable working with this dispensaries in this area. She
Sure.
feels like they are compassionate to our local economy.
Yeah. And I mean, and it will continue to be a part of it.
Yes. What's the biggest benefit of recreational marijuana sales in Massachusetts?
Well, carrying on what we just were talking about,
Yeah.
you know, being a part of the community, you know, no one has complained when, you know, somebody buys T-shirts for the baseball team and it comes from the local Chevy dealer.
True.
You know, I mean, that could happen in the future that it, you know, could come from this. But I think that the influx of the money that's coming in through the taxes and the host agreements that are going on through the cities, it's going to be of great benefit. Number one, it can be helping affordable housing.
Yes.
It can be helping elder housing. It can be helping open space preservation, arts funding, and other projects that seem to not have enough funding. You know, I mean, cities are tight. So when you're looking at this, I mean, I don't think that everybody is going to be a billion or millionaire after this. But yet I think that the communities are going to be benefiting from it. And they also have some direction in their host agreements of how they can structure that.
Yes.
Not too onerous, but they can ask for certain things. So, you know, and they have been. And I think for the most part, the requests have been fair. Mm-hmm. And most cannabis companies coming in have known what the deal was going to be from the beginning.
Yes.
So they're prepared for it as well.
Peter, it's been a pleasure having you on, and you're so knowledgeable in this field. If anyone wants to reach you in regards to your representation of them, maybe for a dispensary or in real estate, you're a local agent, how can they reach you?
Well, my website is callpeter.net, and my email is peter@callpeter.net.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was
Fallon,
so nice having you on.
I enjoyed it.
Thank
you very much.
Take care. Everyone, have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.